that my husband is always telling me how soft my skin is and how good I smell. So I am going to share some of those tips with you in this video. Hello, Glowells, and welcome to Glow and Grow with Mo. So in this channel, we talk about all things travel, lifestyle, beauty, and fun for women over 40. So this is going to be our second video in our Pretty AF series. And this video is all about the things that I do for my body care routine to stay pretty AF. So if you're interested in learning what I do, stay tuned. So first off, let me say, I am not a dermatologist. I am not an esthetician. These are just the things that I do for my body care to keep me moisturized, clean, smelling good, feeling good. And so I wanted to share some of the routine items and steps that I follow in order to continue looking pretty AF. One of the things I will share is that my husband is always telling me how soft my skin is and how good I smell. So I am going to share some of those tips with you in this video. So first off, before I do anything, before I shower, moisturize, before I do anything, I always dry brush. This is the dry brush that I use. And I believe I got this from a spa at some point over the last year or two. I probably change this out every year. I really don't know how often you should, but I prefer to dry brush on dry skin before I shower. So this is going to be the first step in my routine. And I start with my arms, and I always move in the direction of going towards my heart, my chest. So I do my arms, I do my neck down, I do my arms this way and the back. I then do circular motions on my stomach, and then I do my legs from the top of my feet all the way up my legs, going upwards towards my heart. So someone told me that as a tip at one point, and I just like the idea of having consistency in the direction that I brush. After I dry brush, it's time to hop in the shower. Now, one of the things that I'll tell you is the same way I double cleanse my face, and I talked about that in the first video when I covered my skincare routine, I also double wash. So for me, the first thing I do is I first wash with something that's antibacterial and a more squeaky clean soap, if you will. Recently, I have been loving this magic soap. The almond flavor smells so good. I said flavor as if we're eating it. The almond scent smells so good. And this is the Dr. Bronner's Magic Soap in Almond. So I will use this on my African washcloth. If you have not heard of the African washcloth, you've got to get you one. Clearly, all of this is purchasable from Amazon. But these African washcloths are game changers. They put those little plastic rounded net washcloths or sponges to shame. I use this along with this, and I get everything. I go deep underarm, under my chest, on my legs. And this is long enough to where I can also go behind my back too. So love this African washcloth. So first I cleanse with this soap. It's antibacterial and it's a heavy duty soap. And secondly, I then go once again with my African washcloth, I go in with something that smells good and is like a nourishing body wash. I typically will use something like this, Saltaire. This is their serum body wash. I like it because it's not too greasy and I feel like it just helps my skin look supple. I will sometimes also use Bath and Body Works body washes. I like theirs because of the scent. So I'll use their jelly glycerin based body wash sometimes too. Now, while I'm in the shower, and either before or after I've done my two washes, I do have a few products that I use in the shower as well. For feminine care, I do use Summer's Eve. I know that there's like Honey Pot. There's so many other feminine washes out there. I also know that some of y'all don't believe in using feminine washes, but for me, at my age, where how I grew up, you wanted something that was going to neutralize and just kind of make you feel like, you were being a bit cleaner down there. So anyway, I use this. I always use the sensitive one because it doesn't have too much perfume in it, and I just feel like it does a good job of cleaning things. And then also while I'm in the shower, that's when I will either shave with my razor if it's time to shave in between my body cream hair removal routine. Or if I don't shave, then I'll go straight into using my pumice. Now, this pumice I bought these from Amazon, I think like a pack of 5 or 8. A lot of them came in the pack. They weren't very expensive either. So these are like the ones you'll see in the nail salon when they use when you're getting a pedicure. But I like to keep these in the shower. I probably swap these out every couple months. But this is the rough size. This is the rough side, so I use this on my heel, and then I follow up with the smoother side so that the skin that I've just kind of pulled up with the rough side can be smoothed out. But I will use this on my heel. I'll also take the time to use it on my hands, like the inside of my hand or any areas where there's dry skin. So I will use this in the shower as well. And so for the most part, that is what I'm doing in the shower. Now, let me jump to hair removal. I only recently started doing this probably in the last couple months. I have never been one to like waxing. I don't know about you, but whenever I get waxes or sugaring or whatever, I've tried a couple of them, I always get ingrown hairs. So I don't do that anymore. For a while, I was just shaving. For a while, I would use my husband's clippers. But I recently started using this Veet. It's a 2-minute cream. And for me, I leave it on closer to 5 minutes. But I really like this because I can put it under my arm. I put it on my bikini area. I put it on my legs. I don't remove the hair on my actual arms, but under my arm, my bikini area, and my legs is where I use this. I normally leave it on for 5 to 6 minutes. And let me tell you, when you come out, you are so soft. And it almost acts like an exfoliator because it also will get some of like the dark debris you sometimes will have under your arm, or like those really small hairs that look like debris. That's probably what it is. Those will all come out with this. It just melts off everything, and it doesn't make my skin sensitive. It doesn't burn or tingle. Now, I do use the applicator that it comes with. I remember reading the detailed instructions, and they did say use the applicator and not your hand, because if you use your hand, you're more than likely going to be tempted to rub it in, and I think that is what causes the skin irritation. But using this, like pumping this on there and like putting it under your arm, it makes you not have to rub it in. It just applies it just to the hair, and you just kind of keep on going. So I use this for hair removal. Now, based on my body and the fact that I consume collagen, I eat a lot of protein, I have to do this probably every other week, and maybe under my arms once between, those that every other week. I don't know if yours you'll have to do it that often. I'm pretty sure this depends on how quickly your hair grow, probably the thickness of your hair as well. But I love this routine, this technique that's now a part of my body care routine, and I think I'll be doing this for a long time. Okay, so next, let's jump to skincare or body skincare. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to the body and the skincare is my underarm. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation underneath my underarm. Some of it is due to some surgeries I've had. Others are just due to just discoloration because I've shaved so much over the years. So I'm really working on improving the skin under my arm. So a couple things I'm doing. The first thing is I'm using a AHA, a 5% AHA deodorant. Now, this is by Saltier. It's the same brand that made the Creamier body wash. And I like this because I'll put this under my arms. I'll let it dry. I don't use it for the sweat protection. It's a deodorant, not an antiperspirant anyway. But I use it because of the AHA. Now, I will tell you, I've ordered some glycolic acid to use in conjunction with this under my arm because I've heard great things about how that also helps with discoloration and also, I believe, sweat control. So I'll let you know in upcoming videos how that's working out. But right now, this is sort of like my treatment deodorant to help with the discoloration. And after that has dried, after a few minutes, I will then go in with my handy dandy secret clear invisible deodorant. I always change the scent, but I've been using secret antiperspirant for years. I want to say since I was in high school. So it works for me. I find it reliable, and you can find it anywhere. So this is my underarm sort of like deodorant regimen, if you will. After I have put on my deodorant, it's then time to put on my body care. Now, depending on if it's night or if it's morning, I will do a few things differently. But all in all, here's what I do. I always moisturize and oil at the same time. So during the day, what I'll typically do is use a lotion or a cream. Recently, I have been using the Saltaire multi-lipid body butter. So that goes along with the treatment deodorant and the body wash I've been using. I want to say I got this on sale from Ulta about a month or two ago. But once again, I change it up. Sometimes it's a Bath and Body Works set. Sometimes it's something that I bought from Ulta, maybe a different brand. I always try to make sure my body wash and my lotion complement each other. Either they're the same scent or they're similar scents. So anyway, I'll use this along with a body oil. Now, lately I have been using this Taraji P. Henson Anything Glows. I love the smell of this. This is in the vanilla and tuberose scent. It's affordable, and I think it's at Walmart. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Walmart is where I get this from. So I'll combine this with this. I'll put some of this in my hand, then I'll drop some oil on. I'll rub it all together, and then I'll just cover my body in that. And for me, that works well. Me using just a lotion or cream alone doesn't cut it. Like, even though I have a very oily face. I talked about that in my skincare routine. I don't have an oily body. I can tell you, especially my legs and my upper arms, they can get pretty dry if I don't properly hydrate them with both a body lotion or butter and an oil. So I do both of those. Now, I will tell you the difference between this and at night. I will do these together, but what I'll also do is every other night I will add this ordinary retinoid emulsion to it. So it's a really creamy emulsion, and this really helps with smoothing, keeping my skin smooth. Like, I don't really need it to smooth my skin. At this point, my skin is extremely smooth, mostly clear, and so I use this to maintain. And so it's a really creamy consistency, if you can see that. And I will just put that in my hand, a couple drops in my hand, along with the body butter and the oil at night, and then I'll rub it all in, and this really helps to keep things clear. Now, I don't use it every night because it is a retinoid, it's a retin-A, and then this also causes me to more frequently use sunscreen on my body as well. But I like using this. I feel this just kind of takes my body care routine up a notch. There was one post I saw a few months ago where one of the girls, she gets a whole jar of whatever body cream she's using, and she dumps this whole thing in it. Now, I could do that. That's probably a more efficient way to do it. But because I use this for the morning and the night, and I don't want to use this every time I'm applying the cream, I just choose to use the dropper on an as needed basis. But anyway, so that's how I stay moisturized. It's always a lotion or cream and an oil. Okay. Now, for those times where I want to feel a little or look a little glossy, say I'm going out at night, or let's say I'm going to the beach and I want to just glow all over my body, I have a couple things that I can do. Now, my number one and most frequent thing that I will do is this. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. This is the Kopari Sun Glaze, and this is in the one that looks like looks pink. Ooh, I just dropped it. That looks pink. I even have this in a small travel size. I love this stuff. This is probably my fourth bottle of this. I mean, I've been using it I use it year round, once again, when I want to be out and I want to look glowy. So I love this. It smells good. And because it's a spray, you can put it on your body without having to put it on your hands and get, the glitter and the iridescent stuff all over the place. So I love this Kopari, and it's a really nice fine mist. So this is my number one. Now, Sometimes if I want to like do a double thing, like I want to moisturize with the oil, but I also want to shine, I will pull out the tried and true Vaseline gel oil. This is the one that's in Sunlit Glow. It smells so good. It's like a vanilla cocoa smell. I love this. So I will use this. It's obviously more affordable than this. This isn't necessarily very cheap, but you do have to apply this with your hands unless you get you one of these. And so this is a little body brush. I think some people may use this for self tanner or for other things. I use this to apply this or some of the other body oils that I have that have glitter in them if I don't want to get it on my hand. So I'll just put it on here, I'll squeeze it on here, and I'll just use it as a brush for my body. This I want to say I got from maybe Sephora. It's a Saint Tropez, so I think it goes with their suntan products. But anyway, so that's what I do as a step up for my normal body cream oil routine. I will use these products to give me an extra kind of shiny glow. All right, so next up is going to be just extra things that I do to feel moisturized, to look moisturized. I have lots of hand creams. One that I love is the Trader Joe hand cream. Hold on a minute, I'm gonna go get it. Okay, got it. One of the things I love is the Trader Joe hand and body cream. If you can see that, it has no scent, but it's just so nourishing. So I have one of these in my car. I have one on my nightstand in my bedroom. So I will very often reach for this, but when my skin is like super dry, kind of going back to its wintertime, things are starting to crack a little, I will pull out the good old trusty Vaseline. So I will keep a small one of these in my nightstand, and I will put this on and then put the hand lotion over it. And I'll put this on my feet. And sometimes if my feet aren't looking the best, I'll put this on. I'll do this routine and then I'll put socks on. But because I use my Pluma Stone pretty regularly in the shower, I'm able to stay ahead of that, or stay ahead of having to do that. But this is what I use for some of the extra dry areas as I need to do something. So just two more products I want to share with you that I typically use in my body care routine, and then I'll jump to some of my favorite fragrances. So one of the things I typically will do is I will use a body spray. I don't always use it, but sometimes if I'm going to bed, I've taken a shower, I'm going to bed, I'll maybe spray this on me instead of spraying a full perfume. Now, most nights, I'll be honest, I do also spray a perfume. I like just smelling good when I go to bed. But sometimes I'll just spray this and just call it a night. But with that said, I love the body spray. So once again, you'll see everything here is like salt here in the pink beach scent, right? But I'll tell you, I love Bath and Body Works. I love some of the other like high quality scent and product families that are at Ulta. I just like to stay consistent. And then once it runs out, I might do something different. So that's one of the things that I do to smell good. Now, the other side note before I jump to fragrances is I want to share this. This is called Mega Babe. It is their Thigh Rescue Anti-Friction Stick. This, when I discovered this maybe like 4 years ago, I'm telling you, game changer. So if you're like me and maybe you aren't a size 00 and your thighs, they like to meet up sometimes. They like to touch each other and say, high five, what's up, girl? Well, if you don't want it to do that, you don't want them to do that so often, or at least you don't want to feel uncomfortable and feel sweaty, this is great. This is like a glide stick. And so whenever I'm wearing skirts or dresses, I will typically put this on between both of my thighs. I'll rub it on the inside of each of my thighs, and this just works wonders. I never have to reapply this. I feel like once this is on, it's on. Now, I will tell you, if you're going to use this, do not over apply if you're wearing like a satin skirt or a silk skirt, something that would easily show an oil-based stain, okay? Because you don't want this to leak through the back or front of your skirt. But for the most part, this is my ride or die, especially during the summer when I'm not wearing, tights and other things, but love this. Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about fragrances. Now, fragrances are a very personal thing for women. What I would say for me, and when I want to smell good, I have a fragrance to go to based on the occasion and the audience, and also how I'm feeling, just, aside from wanting to feel good. So I think it's very important for a woman to smell good. Like, there's nothing like, you going in for a hug or even a handshake and someone saying, "Oh my gosh, you smell amazing." But we don't want our fragrance to walk in the room before we do. Okay, so there's definitely a balance between smelling good and just over smelling. Okay, so, but what I will tell you is I found a few fragrances that have gotten me compliments and ones that I just love the smell of, right? So I'm going to share them with you. So my everyday fragrance is typically going to be one of these three. Um, I wish I could be one of those girlies that say I have a standard signature scent, but I feel I feel classier some days. I feel flirtier some days. I feel a little, sexy some days. So my classier scent is going to be this one. This is my ride or die. This is my fourth bottle of this. This is the Baccarat Rouge 540. This thing smells amazing. And this is probably my most number one complimented scent. So I'll say, honestly, 60% of the time I'm wearing this. As you can see, she's almost empty. I need to refill her. Now, when I want to feel fun and light, I will wear this one. This is from Fleur. It's called Missing Person. I love this scent. It's unique. If you ever heard of the scented oil that used to be popular back in the day called Egyptian musk, this reminds me of an elevated, sweeter Egyptian musk. I love this. So I'll say when I am going to the gym, or let's say I'm going to just like a fun, like bowling or flirtier kind of like casual event, I will wear this over the Baccarat. Okay. And then one of my new favorites, you'll see that this one is full because I just bought it like 2 weeks ago when I was in Dallas. But my mother-in-law had this on, and when I tell you that when she hugged me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you wearing?" I had to go buy it for myself. So this is the Miu Miu. This is their classic scent. So to be honest with you, I don't know which one this is, other than it's the original one. Because when I went to buy this in the Miu Miu store in Dallas, they had a couple of varieties. But I said I want the classic one, and this was the one, and it smells so good. So this is probably going to be my more sexy scent. So for instance, I'm about to go out to a party and I'm going to be with my husband. And so I'm going to probably wear this one tonight versus the Baccarat or the Missing Person. But these are the three that I primarily have in rotation. So these are my three ride or dies, if you will. Now, I do have a few others that I have. I use sometimes just kind of in and out. So I've got some Joe Malone. I will pair these two together for a unique combination. It's the nectarine blossom and honey, and it's the scarlet poppy. These two together are a really interesting scent combination. I don't typically wear these alone, but I will wear them together. So I like that when I want to change things up. I have Angel, but this isn't the class. I do have the classic Blue Angel, but this is like the Midnight, I believe. And this one smells really good. It's a sexy scent though. So this is one that I probably will substitute the Miu Miu for, because this is almost empty, and this was my sexy scent before I bought the Miu Miu. So anyway, loved it though. It's a really good scent. It's deep and it's got amber. It's really good. And then this was gifted to me by a friend, which I like. It's the Fenty scent. It's this one in the brown. It's a little travel one. So I'll sometimes take this and travel with this because it's easier. And once again, it's a little classier, right? So it rivals the Baccarat. If I don't want to take the huge Baccarat bottle with me if I'm traveling, I'll take that. And then last but not least is this it's this Arabian perfume. So someone that I follow had a like a list of oils and perfumes that she loves and that she's gotten when she's been in Dubai or in other parts of the Middle East. And she recommended this one. So I bought it on a whim. I want to say I got it from Amazon, or I want to say it was Amazon. And when I tell you that it has a really nice solid scent, now I wouldn't wear this every day. It is a bit strong for me, but when I lightly spray this like on the pulses of my arms and behind my ears, perfect. So that's my scent collection. As you can see, it's not expensive. I don't think I'll ever be one of those women that have shelves of perfumes. I think I would have decision fatigue if I had to like choose something every single outfit or every single day. But as you can see, I do have variety. It's a variety I'm comfortable with, and so I really love my collection in the scents that I've selected. So, anyway, that's it. That's what I would like to share with you as far as the things I do to stay pretty AF. One thing I will mention before I forget is massages and body care. So I do get massages pretty regularly. I won't say monthly, maybe every other month, but I have a massage gun that I got from Amazon. If I can find the original one, I will link it below because it has a heating and a cooling effect that you can turn on and off. Love it. So I only get massages about every other month because I self massage, and it's a lot of what I have to do in order to make sure my back is okay and I don't have any issues there. So I'll use that probably once or twice a week, but I will share the link to that. But that's the one thing I would say I hadn't previously mentioned that I think is probably super important to me, just feeling good, right, at 48 years old, as part of my body care routine. So I hope that you found this helpful. So just so you know, in this Pretty AF series, the next one up is going to be hair. And when I record that, you may see this hair or you may see something else. But I will be sharing with you in that next video in this Pretty AF series all about my hair regimen, the products I use, the hair that I use, and a couple other things. So I hope you will look forward and click on that when you see it. But in the meantime, please like, subscribe, comment, hype, share. Some of the things that I do in my body care routine are things that I've discovered in the last 2, 3, 5 years. And I'm a grown 48-year-old woman. And so I think as new products are introduced and created, as we learn more about our body chemistry, and also as we have the resources to buy better quality products, we need to be sharing some of the things that we're doing, right? We can't gatekeep on what it takes to stay pretty. So if you're interested, please look at the links in the comments below, which I will link as much as I can, but also make sure you share this video with one of your other sedity, pretty, sort of like girly girls, all right?